You know you are great at what you do. Your clients tell you all the time. The trouble is you're starting to become the best kept secret, and that's the last thing that you want to be. So in this week's video, I'm showing you my Value-Blitz campaign method so that you can start generating a ton of visibility on social media for you and your services. So let's get building up buzz. Welcome back there, Empire Builders. If you're new here, my name is Haley Dale, and I am a content and sales funnel strategist helping you create more purposeful, productive, and yes, profitable content too. So if that sounds like something you're looking for, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below this video for more value-packed videos just like this one every single Monday. This is part 4 of my 7-part Get Clients from Your Content series. So if you haven't watched the earlier parts, make sure to hit the links below this video. I'm going to list them all there so you can go and watch those ones first, because this process really does build upon the previous steps. So if you haven't watched that, no worries, go and watch that one and then come back to this video where we are going to be creating your Value-Blitz campaign so you can start generating buzz on social media for you and your services. What we've done so far in this series is we have talked about positioning your service offer. We've set up and mapped out and streamlined your discovery call, sales call process. Then in our previous video, we talked about how to set up an interest list and start getting some names on that. The next part of the system is all about leveraging social media, something that you're likely already using in order to start generating buzz and starting to add even more people to that interest list. So we're going to make that happen using my Value-Blitz campaign method, and there are 3 steps to make it happen. I want to talk about the strategy behind why this campaign method works. It's because you're already likely using social media, and so you already probably have some places that you're a part of, and you might need part of this process for you might be finding new places where your actual potential clients are. So if that's the case, that's totally fine. We'll do that in step number 1. But the reason this works is because if you're already using those places, we just are going to talk about tweaking what it is that you are sharing on social media. So we're going to be creating some really valuable posts in a way that positions you as a very generous service-based expert with the solutions and the know-how to solve problems that your customers and potential clients are really having. And we're going to share it in a way that repurposes each post into multiple different places so that you're not needing to do a ton of extra work in creating a bunch of different content. So we're going to come up with a set number of posts, share them in a bunch of different places so we're not adding a ton of extra work to your plate. So I want to just mention I have a checklist which you can download below this video. It's my entire step-by-step process for this. So if you would like some guidance, if you like to check things off as much as I do, make sure to download that and have it open in front of you, because that is going to be such a great resource for you to follow this method. So let's get generating buzz. And with that, dive into step number 1, which is coming up with your strategy. So the first part, I mentioned that you're likely already using social media, and that entails being in places where your potential clients are. So where I find people get into trouble with this is that they are using social media, they're parts of groups, they're following accounts for people who would never be interested in those services. Maybe they're following other peers in the industry. Maybe you're following people who have already done the thing, have already solved the problem. So we just want to make sure that when it comes time to actually choosing the places where you're going to be interacting, and this is going to be a huge part of this first step, we want to make sure that we're choosing spots where your potential clients actually are. So the first question to ask yourself is, where are my potential clients hanging out online? And you want to come up with a list of those places, because our first step of this campaign is to come up with a list of 5 spots where you're going to be sharing your posts. So we want to come up with that top list of 5 places and make sure that it's places where your potential clients are. That's the only rule with this. So things you might consider are third-party Facebook groups, your Facebook page, your Instagram feed, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, Twitter. So I'm considering feed, reel, stories as 3 separate places. My recommendation, though, is really for you to choose at least 3 of those be third-party Facebook groups where your people are, or maybe Reddit. We're thinking just community rather than your channels, because we want to make sure that you're also getting in front of like communities that are already gathered, especially if you're newer to social media and there's not a lot happening on your Instagram page, or like it's like crickets over on your Facebook page. So you can definitely have those be a part of the strategy, but at least 3 of those spots, you want to make sure that you're going into places where communities of people are already gathered and engaging. When I was just getting started in service, I met the majority of my clients in Facebook groups, in paid programs that had Facebook groups where I could build relationships, where I could show up and provide value. And so that is a little bit of the reason behind why I'm encouraging you to also include those in your 5-spot slots. So take action. I want you to choose those 5 spots where you're going to be posting your Value-Blitz campaign messages. That moves us to step number 2, which is to craft your messages. So what we want to do in this part of the campaign is we want to come up with 8 different messages, and they want to be 75 to 200 words, so pretty short there. And we want to make sure that they are providing value. So there are some different topics that you could choose from to base these messages on. So in your offer, what are the main topics that you cover? So this is the first idea. So in my offer, let's just to give you an example here. In my offer, Your Profitable Funnel, we cover the freebie to help our clients attract their dream come true clients. We cover the follow-up email sequences to woo and convert those subscribers into paid clients, and a traffic strategy to help people get to the top of, that funnel. So there are really 3 main sub areas that if I was going to be doing this campaign that I could use as jumping off points for my messages. So it might be something like this. If I was going to focus on the traffic component of the funnel, hey, guess what? You need to be driving traffic to the top of your funnel. It's not just going to work sitting there on its own. So you want to think about creating those connections between those sub themes. So basically at this stage, first step of step number 2 is to come up with your ideas of different things that these 8 posts could cover. So the first thing is to break down your service package into those subcategories that it covers. The second thing is what results do people pay you for, and what are the steps that people would take to achieve those outcomes? So this might be where you are sharing your signature process. And we're not talking about getting into the nitty gritty, providing people templates, providing people step-by-steps, but we're talking about the big buckets of things that people go through when working with you as a way of it's a twofer here, because you're also educating them about what steps they're going to have to take when they do work with you. So to use my Profitable Funnel package again, we break it down into 4 different steps. So we have the kickoff phase where we're coming up with a strategy. We have the freebie phase where we're creating that lead magnet, the opt-in page, the freebie, etc. We have the follow-up email sequence, so the offer phase where we're optimizing the sales page, creating that follow-up email sequence, really getting people to excited about the offer that's in that sales funnel. And then we have the traffic phase about driving people to the top of that. And then we also have the testing protocol as part of that final phase. But those would be the broad stroke steps, even though there are hundreds of steps within each of those phases. Those are the broad stroke steps that I bring people through. So I could create a post around that signature process, those big broad steps. The third thing that you can potentially base a post around are what problems do you see coming up for your potential clients again and again? So what are those things that you see people struggling with? And we're thinking about teeny tiny things. So the smaller the problem, the better. Maybe it's something like choosing an email service provider, or whatever industry you're in, how do I choose a bread knife? I don't know. I was buying one the other day. That made me think of that. But so what are those teeny tiny steps that are problems that you see your potential clients struggling with that you could do a post solving that problem, or giving them some guidance on how to make that decision, how to take that first step, how to solve that teeny tiny problem. Number 4 is what are your favorite resources and tools that you could recommend? So this might be a new tool in your industry that people maybe aren't familiar with. This could be a resource or a book that's recently come out and you can share your thoughts. This would be considered newsjacking a little bit, but with resources rather than headlines. So resource jacking. So we want to make sure that for this one that you are not sharing replacements to your service. So you want to be careful with this one and make sure that you're not giving a recommendation for something that would basically steal the thunder from your service. We don't want to do that. Then what are your favorite books or articles? So this could be a great idea. And I want you to think about your favorite should be yours, right? The ones that you're creating. So if you have a really great blog post on the topic that your service is related to, can you steal pieces from that and turn them into social media posts? So this should get you at least a few posts there from the 8 that we're trying to cover. And then number 6, who are your success stories? Can you share any case studies or stories or examples or testimonials from people who you've helped? Those can go a long way too. But in order to make it a value post, so instead of just like dropping the testimonial and running, can you share some lessons that other people could learn from that example? So those are 6 ideas of different things you can use for these posts. So come up with your list of potential topics. And then once you're ready from those 6 ideas, turn them into different posts. And we want to have at least 8 that you're covered. And like I mentioned, between 75 and 200 words, so they don't need to be long at all. So then write your post. And then what I want you to do is I want you to pair each post to an image. So whether that's a stock photo, whether that's a picture of you, whether that's a behind the scenes picture, whether that's an adorable picture of your dog, I'm always up for those ones. So what we want you to do is just come up with those 8 posts, and that is your take action step for step number 2, is write your 8 posts. All right, so what are you going to do with those posts now that you have them written? That brings us to step number 3, which is to post your posts, post your messages according to the Blitz campaign schedule. So this campaign is going to run for a total of 4 days, and we have 5 spots that we're sharing in, and you're going to have 2 separate routines. So during this campaign, it's meant to be intense. It's meant to take some time in these times that you're running them, because it's meant to generate some buzz. So you have a morning routine and an afternoon routine. So in the morning, when you're running this 4-day campaign, you're going to go to each of your 5 sharing channels, step 1, and you're going to be sending out those messages. So posting those messages in those groups on your platform, wherever those places are. Then you're going to find 3 other posts in that group or on social media, whatever platform you're focusing, and you're going to provide thoughtful and helpful answers. So maybe it's a question someone's answering, or maybe it's a thought they're sharing. Can you add your own? So you want to go and search out and engage with 3 separate posts in that same channel. Then you want to move on to your next spot. So we have 5 spots that you're going to be posting 5 messages a day in this morning routine, and then engaging with 3 other posts in those areas. Then in the afternoon, I want you to go back to your 5 sharing channels, see if there's any comments or interaction or engagement on your posts, and I want you to respond back to them. And then when you're done that, find 3 other people's posts to provide value on, whether that's just a thoughtful comment or a solution or a question. So that is the morning and afternoon routine and how we're going to divvy that up. Now, in terms of the actual sharing schedule, I'm going to run through it here, but I definitely recommend that you download that Value-Blitz campaign checklist, because it's going to have all of this, and this is a little hard to follow just saying like this. So in day 1, you have your 8 posts, and they're numbered 1 to 8. So on day 1, in your first spot, so we have 5 spots, spot number 1, you're going to share post number 1. Then in spot 2, you're going to share post number 2. Spot 3, post number 3, spot 4, post number 4, spot 5, post number 5. So that one's pretty easy. So that is day 1. Then on day 2, you're going to share post 6 in your first spot. Then you're going to share post 7 in spot number 2, share post 8 in spot number 3. Then we're back to the beginning. Share post 1 in spot number 4, share post 2 in spot number 5. So you can see that we're just running through them. Then on day 3, you're going to share post 3 in spot number 1, post 4 in spot number 2, post 5 in spot number 3, post 6 in spot number 4, and post 7 in spot number 5. So we're just running through them, and definitely download that checklist because it's a little hard to follow. Then on day 4, we're going to share post 8 in spot number 1, post 1 in spot number 2, post 2, spot 3, post 3 in spot 4, and post 4 in spot 5. So we're doing this in a way that the same posts are never going to the same place in this 4-day campaign. We don't want to have duplicates there. So take action. I want you to follow the schedule and actually go and post your messages over the next 4 days, and make sure you're doing it as part of the AM routine and PM routine, where you're going to be responding and engaging with people. So I want you to take action. I want you to make sure to download that checklist down below this video with the schedule in there. And I want you to create your campaign strategy by choosing your 5 spots, write your 8 messages, and then go and post those messages according to the schedule in the Value-Blitz campaign method. And let me know in the comments. I want to know what day you're committing to starting your campaign. So share it with me so that we can help keep you accountable. And if you want more videos just like this one, make sure to click on the next video on your screen and subscribe for new value-packed videos just like this one every single Monday.